Welcome to the Comic Scoop, everyone. I'm here to talk about the latest installment in the life of Poison Ivy with this brand new comic, Poison Ivy #1, created by the creative team of G. Willow Wilson, Mauricio Takara, and Arif Prianto. Before we get into this issue, um, at the very end of Joshua Williamson's final issue for Batman in issue 124, we have a little prelude story. We have a little prelude story in here called Photosynthesis. It is written by the same writer for the new series, G. Willow Wilson, but with a different creative team altogether. Artist Danny, and colors done by Trish Mulvihill. So within this story, we come to find out that this takes place after the DC event of Fear State, Batman Fear State specifically, where Poison Ivy's she had like her personalities were split into two different people, two different beings, and with the help of Bella and like Harley Quinn, they had put both of her selves like together as one, which the fusing of the two, unfortunately, had Poison Ivy lose her special goddess abilities and severed her connection to the green. So there's one last thing that she can think of what to do. And so she inhales the spores of the Orpheocordyceps llama, which is the toxin, the fungal toxin that those of you might know of that create like the zombie ants. If you ever heard of that, it's a fungus that basically takes over the mind of these ants and controls their bodies, against the will of the ant. So she inhales this spore, and it gives her almost like a psychedelic insight. And from that moment on, she has a new mission in life, which picks up in the pages of Poison Ivy #1. And I have this very nice and appropriate cover for like the specific DC Pride cover. This is done by Arif Prianto. I really love the like rainbow flowers in her hair. But like the usage of the fungus growing out of her is just horrific, and it's gorgeous. Like I said, it's very appropriate since this has to do with a fungal spread. So this issue, we just pick up with Poison Ivy, who's traveling across country and trying to spread this spore everywhere. And we have these cattle farmers that find their cattle completely covered, unsure of what it is. And that's when Poison Ivy comes in and introduces it's a colony of Orpheocordyceps llama. And in layman's terms, they're parasitic mushrooms. Your animals didn't suffer before death, because nature is kind like that. So for what I understand, because of this toxin, she is slowly dying. And before she reaches her end, she wants to spread this, just as far across the country, around the world as she can, to get her final bit of revenge to help nature take back over. It's a pretty interesting story. The narration's all done almost like a letter, and we find out that it's more so to a letter specifically to Harley Quinn. The two had split up, I guess, after the events of Fear State. Um, Poison Ivy realizing that them knowing fusing her two selves would take away her powers. She's enraged and takes it out on Harley, and decides to leave her. But now that she's had time to calm down and think about it, she realized that wasn't the right decision. And I'm guessing, like, in the events of this happening, she is writing a letter to her to, like, explain what happened with her and, in a way, her apology. But it's pretty cool. I really love, like, the final part here where there's these two creeps that are hitting on Poison Ivy at the bar. They follow her out, so she beats the crap out of them and, quote unquote, gives herself to them. And by herself, she means the spores. And they do have a trace of psilocybin in them. So these two people, as they're being taken over by the fungus, are like tripping balls. And they see Poison Ivy in this intensely crazy image. And like the one guy even says to her, like, "Oh, why are you so sad? Like, everything's beautiful, everything's connected." And she says that she no longer feels that connection, but she understands what he feels. And it shows like this guy, his hand like starts to move. So just like what I mentioned about those spores and the zombie ants, I'm wondering if these people who are infected are gonna become zombie-ish too. But yeah, that's it for this first issue. Next issue comes out next month, so I'll be looking forward to that. This is pretty cool. Poison Ivy is a character that I really love a lot. I identify with her in a way, with my love of nature. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for listening, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, and have a good day.